The siren wailed at dawn, slicing through the cold air like a blade. Daniel froze mid-step, one hand on the rusted gate, the other clutching a folded letter he had never sent. Every morning in the city began this way now, with fear arriving before the sun. He ran. The shelter beneath the old library was already crowded. Mothers pressed children to their chests, old men stared at the floor, and soldiers leaned against the damp walls with hollow eyes. No one spoke. Words had become too heavy during the war. Daniel sat beside a young nurse named Anna. He had seen her before, always calm, always steady, even when blood stained her sleeves. She noticed the letter in his hand. "You still writing?" she asked softly. "Trying," Daniel replied, "but I never know how to end it." The ground shook. Dust fell from the ceiling. Somewhere above them, the city screamed. Daniel had once been a teacher, history of all things. He used to tell his students that wars were made of dates and decisions. Now he knew better. Wars were made of moments, like the way Anna closed her eyes every time an explosion hit, or how a child stopped crying because he was too tired to be afraid. When the siren finally faded, silence rushed in, louder than the bombs. They emerged into a broken morning. Smoke drifted through streets that no longer remembered laughter. A nearby building burned slowly, like it was exhausted. Anna was called away to the field hospital. Daniel watched her go, wondering how someone could walk toward suffering so willingly. He unfolded the letter again. It was for his younger brother who had gone to the front 2 years ago. "I don't know if you're alive," Daniel had written, "but if you are, I want you to know the city still remembers you." Suddenly, a shout cut through the air. "Over here! He's breathing!" A soldier lay trapped under fallen bricks. Daniel rushed forward without thinking. His hands shook as he lifted stones one by one. The man was barely conscious, his uniform soaked dark. "Stay with us," Anna said, kneeling beside him. She looked up at Daniel. "Help me." Together, they carried the soldier toward the hospital. Daniel felt the man's weak heartbeat through his shoulder, fragile, stubborn. Inside, the hospital was chaos. Groans, hurried footsteps, whispered prayers. Anna worked tirelessly, her movements precise, her face pale but determined. Hours passed. When she finally sat down, exhaustion collapsed her shoulders. Daniel handed her her last piece of bread. "You should save it." "So should you," he replied. They shared it anyway. That evening, as the sun bled red across the ruins, Daniel finally finished the letter. "If you come back," he wrote, "you won't recognize this place, but you will recognize the people. We are still here, still helping, still hoping." He sealed it. Anna stood beside him, watching the sky. "Do you think it will end soon?" Anna asked. Daniel thought of the siren, the silence, and the soldier who had survived because strangers refused to let him die. "I don't know," he said honestly, "but I know how it ends for us, by choosing to remain human." Anna smiled faintly, and for the first time in a long while, the city slept without fear, just for one fragile night.